We are going to do 7th grade J10 scale drawings, scale factor word problems. These are going to be slightly different than the way that I did scale factor in my other video, if you have already watched that. So I decided to make another video about this specific IXL exercise, but it's going to be very similar. And over here is, I went ahead and did a few of these problems. I don't know every kind of conversion that they're going to ask for, but I did a few of them, and I wrote a few sentences over here which I thought would be helpful for these exercises. So just know as you're going through this that there are 1,000 millimeters in a meter, there are 100 centimeters in a meter, there are 12 inches in a foot, there are 3 feet in a yard, and there are 36 inches in a yard. Okay, so that's information to be aware of because they don't give you that information during these problems. It's something they expect you to know. So let's look at the first problem here. Lester made a scale drawing of an Italian restaurant. The scale he used was 9 millimeters equals 1 meter. So in other words, well, 9 millimeters does not equal 1 meter, but 9 millimeters, every 9 millimeters that he draws in his little picture of the restaurant in real life would correspond to 1 meter. Okay, so what is the drawing's scale factor? So here's how we're going to do this. Right now, it's not easy for us to compare these numbers because this number is written in units of millimeters, whereas this number is written in units of meters. So what we want to do in order to compare these numbers is first convert this into millimeters. So there are 1,000 millimeters in a meter, and so 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters. So we can rewrite this scale, and I like to write I like to use a colon instead of an equal sign. Just I don't want anybody thinking that 9 millimeters is actually equal to 1 meter. But 9 millimeters will correspond to 1 meter in real life according to this scale drawing here. And 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters. Okay, so let's put 1,000 over here. And now that these units are the same, then we can just go ahead and divide. And what IXL wants you to do over here is actually just leave your answer as a fraction and actually take the smaller number and put it over the larger number. So we're going to do 9, put 9 over 1,000 for our answer here. And that's saying that the picture is 9 thousandths as big as the actual Italian restaurant in real life. Okay. Terrific. So Shauna made a scale drawing of a swimming pool. She used the scale 2 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. What is the drawing's scale factor? Simplify your answer and write it as a fraction. So this is in centimeters, but this is in meters over here. And I know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So instead of writing 1 meter, we can just write 100 centimeters. So we have 2 centimeters corresponds to every 2 centimeters that we see in the picture of the swimming pool in real life is going to correspond to 1 meter, or another way of saying that is 100 centimeters. Okay, and then we're just going to put this over this, so 2 over 100, but we will simplify here. Both of these are divisible by 2. So we're going to divide this and this by 2, and we'll get 1 over 50. So this is telling us that the picture of the swimming pool that Shauna drew is 1/50th as long as the actual swimming pool in real life. Oops. Okay. Josh made a scale drawing of a house. In real life, the living room is 5 meters. It is 1 millimeter wide in the drawing. What is the drawing's scale factor? Okay, so we have this time 5 meters. Well, so this number is written in terms of meters. The 5 is measured in meters, and the 1 is 1 millimeter. So 5 meters would be how many millimeters? Well, if there are 1,000 millimeters in a meter and we have 5 meters, then we'll just do 5 times 1,000, which is 5,000. So that's telling us that 5 meters is the same as 5,000 millimeters. So we have over here 5,000 millimeters in real life, corresponding to 1 millimeter on the picture. Okay, so basically the real life house is 5,000 times longer and 5,000 times higher and 5,000 times wider than the picture of the house. But I think what they want you to do here is actually put the smaller number over the larger one. So 1 over 5,000 is saying sort of the inverse of what I just said, which is that the picture of the house is 1/5,000th as long and as wide and as tall as the real life house. Is that gonna? Yeah, okay. All right, Pedro measured a house and its lot and made a scale drawing. The scale of the drawing was 7 centimeters, corresponds to 1 meter. What is the drawing scale factor? So that's going to be 7 centimeters corresponding to 100 centimeters, because there are 100 meters in a centimeter. It's not giving me a whole lot of problems over here where I actually have to multiply. Usually, well, I don't know about usually, but sometimes you will have to multiply first. So for example, if it had told me, let's just say 3 meters over here, then instead of saying 100 centimeters, I would say that 3 meters is equal to 300 centimeters, right? I would have done 3 times 100 to get that 300 over there. Because if there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter, then there are 300 centimeters in 3 meters, okay? But it didn't give me a question like that. So this is what the problem was. Let's just write the other. So that's going to be 7 over 100. Okay, so here it is giving me something a little bit different. So Derek drew a scale drawing of a picnic area near the river. The scale he used was 3 inches equals 9, or 3 inches corresponds to 9 yards, right? I don't want you to think that 3 inches is the same as 9 yards, but 3 inches on his picture in the real life picnic would be 9 yards. What is the drawing scale factor? So let's keep the 3 inches over here. I'll just write 3IN for 3 inches. And I know that there are 36 inches in a yard. So how many inches would be in 9 yards? We would just do 36 times 9. Let's see, 27 plus 5 is 32, right? Okay, and we have, so there would be 324, so 9 yards would be 324 inches. These two things are actually equal to each other. 9 yards is equal to 324 inches. But we are going to simplify that. Both of these numbers are divisible by 3. Here's a quick way of seeing if a number is divisible by 3. You add up all of the digits, and if the number that you get is divisible by 3, then the original number is also. So 3 plus 2 plus 4 would be 9. And 9 is divisible by 3, and therefore the number 324 is also divisible by 3. That's a little trick for figuring out if a number is divisible by 3. Okay, it doesn't tell you what you get after you divide. That you have to figure out. So 324 divided by 3. Okay, 3 can't go into 2, so I'll put a 0 there. 0 times 3 is 0. Subtract, get 2. Bring down the 4. 3 goes into 24 exactly 8 times. See, I told you. All right, I get a whole number if I divide 324 by 3. That's what it means to be divisible by 3. Okay, so there's our scale factor. So the picture of the picnic is only 1/108th as long as the actual picnic. Okay, let's do one more from this level, and then I'll skip, I think. So 4 feet wide and 2 inches in the drawing. Okay, so we have 4 feet corresponding to 2 inches. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the bigger unit. Feet are bigger than inches, right? And then we're just going to use the information that I put for you over here. So if I know that there are 12 inches in a foot, then how many inches would there be in 4 feet? Well, we're just going to do 12 times 4, which is 48. So now we know that for every 2 inches that we see in the picture, right, in the drawing, that would, whoops, that should be inches now. That would correspond to 48 inches in real life, okay? And these are both divisible by 2. Actually, I can get well, so let's just do it this way. So 2, I think they always want you to just put the smaller number over the larger one. And both of these are divisible by 2, and we would get over here 1 over 24. Okay, let's go to the next level. Oh, we're at the challenge zone already. Luther drew a scale drawing of Summit The sand volleyball court is 9 centimeters long in the drawing. The actual volleyball court is 18 meters long. What scale factor does the drawing use? Okay. So we have 9 centimeters corresponds to 18 meters. And there are 100 centimeters in a meter, and therefore 18 meters would be 1800 or 1800 centimeters. Okay, so every 9 centimeters that we see in the picture is actually 1800 centimeters in real life. So let's just go ahead and simplify that. Okay, 1800 is divisible by 9. And that would just give us 200, right? 18 divided by 9 is 2. 1800 divided by 9 is 200. 9 divided by 9 is 1. Okay, so we would get 1 over 200 there. If I were doing this, I would say that the scale factor going from the drawing to real life is, I would say 200, because the real life basketball court is 200 times longer. But here we're going the other way. We're going from real life to the drawing. And so we're saying that the scale factor is 1 over 200 because the drawing is 1/200th as long as real life. Okay, so basically the only difference between what I'm doing here and what I did in my other video, if you saw it, is I take the bigger number. After I get the units the same, then I take the bigger number and divide by the smaller one. They're taking the smaller number and dividing by the bigger one. So all our answers here are the reciprocal of what I would have said in my other video. Okay? All right. Okay, 50 feet and 2 inches, so we can figure that out, right? Knowing that there are 12 inches in a foot. So we would take this 50 and multiply that by 12, okay, to figure out. So that would be, 600, right? Okay, and then you could do 2 over 600 and reduce that, divide the numerator and denominator by 2. You get 1 over 300. All right, so I just did that quickly because I don't think that there are any more tricks. I think we've seen everything that we're going to see, so I'm going to end the video there and have a great day.